You received your instructions prior to coming to...
Mike Tyson has met a lot of terrible knockouters on his way. However, none of these beasts were able to compete with Iron Mike. Absolutely every giant that stood in Tyson's way, he ruthlessly knocked out.
It's the biggest. Oh, right hand, down goes Larry. Oh!
But one day, he met a terrifying knockout fighter who was able to knock out Iron Mike himself. Buster Douglas was born in Columbus, Ohio. He had an average upbringing of any black American, living in harsh streets where youth only liked two sports: box and basketball. Young Douglas liked the game of placing ball in a basket over breaking the skull of your opponent. He had the opportunity to do both the sports. His father, William Dynamite Douglas, was also a professional boxer, working part-time as a coach. He tried teaching his son a sweet science, however. Douglas stuck with basketball. When the time to earn money arrived, Douglas came back to the boxing. His previous lessons of boxing allowed him to shine in the ring. The growth was quick.
Some of those victories have been less than tight.
Thanks to his dad's friends, he entered the professional sport and ended his first 4 out of 5 fights by knockout. In his 21st fight, he was dominating Mike White, but got finished in the late 9th round. This showed his weak mentality, standing at average heavyweight height 6 foot and 4 inches with an impressive reach of 83 inches. He struggled to be in shape for most of his fights.
Protect your side,
On the East Coast, Tyson was crushing and smothering each and everyone on the roster. In just 2 years, Tyson stacked up 29 victories, from which 26 were finished by the way of knockout. In his 30th fight, Tyson fought against Pinkland Thomas and obliterated the ex-champ. In the undercard of that fight was Buster Douglas, who fought against Tony Tucker, who he dominated at first, but got fatigued and finished by the TNT man. This again was seen as a weak will from Douglas. The Iron Mike cleared all 3 divisions, and the only person remaining was Evander Holyfield. However, Evander just had a war against Alex Stewart and decided to rest a bit. This was the great opportunity for Buster Douglas, who after a loss to Tucker stuck up 6 wins against boxers such as Trevor Berbick and Oliver McCall. Prior to the fight, Mike was like a walking golden bar in the hood. Everyone tried to take a piece from Tyson, so he got real defensive, made many mistakes and changed his team, including his coach Kevin Rooney. Mike's name was all over the news. He has just divorced his wife after 1 year of living together. Tyson admits he was not training as much for this. 2 weeks before the fight, Mike suffered a knockdown that journalists captured in one of the sparring before this fight. Nevertheless, things that Tyson went through were nothing in comparison with what Buster had to go through. Just 3 weeks before the fight, his wife was taken to emergency care due to her cancer. Doctors were concerned she might not make it out of hospital. The second strike came when he suffered a heavy flu that got him lying in the bed, not being able to train. The coach of his asked if he wanted to stop, however. Booster flatly refused the excuse not to fight Tyson. The mother of Douglas came at that to check on her, that she carefully raised and asked if he was all right.
Yeah, he said, yes he is, honey. Yes he is, dear. What is it gonna be with Buster?
And what'd he say?
He said, yeah, he can do it.
She promised everyone that her son will beat Mike Tyson and took this claim with her to the grave. Buster had an option of making that claim real or quit. He never even considered the second option. People often say nobody believed in him, to bring more drama into their words. However, in this fight, people really had no faith in James Buster Douglas. He was an underdog by 42 and won. Just so you guys understand, you have more chance of winning in the casino via putting your money on a specific single number and pulling it out the first time you try than Douglas had winning that fight.
And as if the death of his mother were not enough, in recent days, Buster Douglas has learned of yet another.
Buster Douglas! Tyson!
Fighter who likes to work behind a stiff left jab.
Tyson was hoping to pull the early win by knockout and loaded up for a single shot. Tyson was just not landing. Surprisingly impenetrable head movement of Mike was on vacation, and the chin of his was put to the ultimate test.
Films, because he takes a move, he steps to his right, give a little angle.
Douglas. Another right hand lead lands for Douglas.
Bookmakers were just shocked to see Tyson eat so many punches with no significant retaliation.
That's what another good right hand and a good right uppercut and two more good rights by Douglas. I don't think I've ever seen...
Attempts to close the distance and land were cancelled by the long palms of Douglas that tied Mike up.
Right hand by Tyson moving in.
In the outside range, it was no hope to win for Mike as the 83-inch rifle of Douglas kept finding him.
Was extremely close to his mother.
Even in the call box, Buster was just better with his hands, landing the mean punches.
Douglas again lands a right hand and backs Buster up, but here he comes.
Holyfield was sitting near the ring witnessing his nightmare just being exposed right in front of him. The 1-2s from Buster constantly connected with a chin Mike Tyson. The new corner of Mike Tyson forgot to bring proper equipment, so they tried to heal the swollen eye of Mike with cold water. Was it the complete confidence in Mike's success, or just an unprofessional move? We could never know. People awaited infamous ripping hook to the body and an uppercut to the head, but sadly for Mike, he never managed to back his opponent against the ropes. Douglas now was a bad guy in that ring, hitting his opponent on the break.
Moran didn't say a word to him about it.
There's a little swell under
The mean combination from Buster and Tyson's feet began shaking. It was too good of a fight for Douglas. He was pushing Mike with no brake pedal on and at that exact moment, Tyson slipped to the right and threw a massive uppercut that knocked Douglas down.
To save Buster Douglas at the end of round 8.
He was still a Tyson though. The fight could have ended right there and went down in history as a strong-willed victory for Iron Mike. However, after controversial countdown, Buster got back on his feet. Tyson tried to pull the victory by finishing his opponent, however. Douglas seemed to quickly recover. It was a weird dynamic where Douglas was recently knocked down and Mike was beat for the entire fight. Mike uses his massive neck and ropes to stay up, withstanding the onslaught from Douglas.
Tyson is wobbling. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. The ropes, Mike would have gone down.
The left eye of Mike was fully closed, making him even more susceptible for the right hands. Tyson began the 10th round with a vicious right cross, showing he is still going forward. After eating all those shots, Tyson seems fatigued and just naively walks forward, where he eats a crazy uppercut, after which one of the most ruthless combinations is carried out on him. Tyson tried to put his mouthpiece on and gets back up, but was just too dazed to continue this bout, making it the first ever lose in Mike Tyson's career. All the belts of Tyson were granted to the Buster Douglas, who finally completed his quest to take Tyson down in honor of his mother. The betting companies had tough night. For Tyson, it was just a quick setback. He tried so hard to get a rematch. However, in the next fight, Holyfield took all 3 belts from Douglas, and when Tyson tried to fight him, Mike went to jail. The rest is history. Buster Douglas, a mediocre boxer, entered the big guy's business, ruined it for them, wrote his name in the history books, and just disappeared in the top echelon of boxing, making the perfect example for the saying the right thing at the right time.